willing to face the Eldron is going to let him know at least more is there. And as soon as actually just going to try and meet them, he can at least get one, but it's trade outs. TSM managing to find ways to even punish aggressive plays coming out of 100 Thieves on this defense.
And that shock dart was almost enough, but Cutler's trying his best to deny them any further presence on towards Wardell. However, Ryan, this one's looking rough.
Not made any movement. I think at this point it's going to be a save, but they could at least get the operator out of Wardell's hands. Now they're going to try and push and go for it, or just make sure that he can't get off this site, but he's still able to do damage onto Hiko. Cutler is like, not again. I don't want to deal with this turret, please. Look at this. He's just going for it. Wardell is forced to dash away to back off, and classic jumping right click.
If you bad, new style, hey, she too fly, make me lose balance.
Very different compositions, just the one duelist on the side of TSM. Of course it's Wardell, surrounded by the bridge and the Sova to hopefully set up a few of his plays. Different for 100 Thieves, they have the Killjoy for one, very good on Ascent, and the double duelist with the Reyna and the Jet. Much more aggressive playstyle. You'll see Asuna doing a lot of this, similar to Sean for Gen G. Whether the game's got a similar way, it's hard to say really at this point. But right now, 100 Thieves taking a leaf out of T1's book and doing absolutely nothing for the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, playing patient, maybe expecting some level of aggression to come out of TSM. One thing I am going to miss is Hayes playing on the Omen. Very good at it on this map in particular. Nice start though from Cutler. In fact, Drone is going to chime in, and the spy has been dropped, but the trade, they come back in a matter of seconds. Asuna even shooting his own teammate. He's so trigger happy at this point. Now it comes down to the remaining two members of TSM. They're going to try and make their way back in. One of them is Wardell, and he starts things off onto Asuna. Hiko is just hiding back, and he's going to be left all on his own. The smokes leaving him sectioned off for a second or two, but he does still have the shock bolt available. It doesn't quite do as much damage as he would have liked, and Hayes is eventually going to close things out. A great 2v3 with Wardell leading the charge. More importantly, a pistol round for TSM.
Yeah, it felt as soon as that spike got planted that there was too little from 100 Thieves, either when it came to the people on the site or even the health that they had. Really made it difficult for TSM to play for the retake, which they tend to do quite a lot on this A site. So 100 Thieves are going to be forcing this up. The Stinger and the Marshall are going to be in play. Asuna going to be going towards B main, which TSM are stacking the majority of people towards A at least, going to be poking towards mid to try and take control there. And there's a lot of tripwise at least for B, so Asuna could probably maneuver his way around it, but he's very much going lone warrior.
Now, the weaker weaponry, or the cheaper weaponry, I could say, not really that much of a detriment in this game. We've seen some pretty tasty Stinger plays already throughout this tournament, and for now, Nitro, well, he's going to be caught out. Wardell playing a little bit more aggressively, but using the range to his advantage. Asuna eventually will be able to trade him out. We'll just check a few extra angles. The fact is, though, it's actually short control that's being fought for the moment from TSM.
Asuna needs to be careful that he doesn't get peeked from drone over on A short. He can be played off. There's so much utility there. There's a really deep Cypher camera from the side of Haste. They're going to be sitting far away. They don't want to take these engagements, but they know that the execute's coming through with that shock dart. All of this utility is from 100 Thieves onto nobody at this point. Ace is happy to sort of wait, and is going to get that frag onto Asuna, who has a bit of a pain in the backside so far for TSM. The spike is going to get planted, but it's a 2 versus 3, and both players from 100 Thieves kind of stuck on the site.
Dicey needs to hit some pretty tasty partial shots, and unfortunately for him, there's nothing he can do. He's so blind, but still manages to take down a third.
Wardell is going to meet them. That's a really good paranoia, though. He isn't going to catch anybody, and Hunter's Fury is going to be used. He misses the shots, but manages to flick around with a classic. Wardell style points there to get the kill onto Steel, and it's a bit of an impact for 100 Thieves, whose money didn't look good already, but being a person down TSM looking on top right now.
Yeah, you know, hitting the easy operator shot, that's not his style. It's the fadeaway classic kill. That's a little bit more Wardell. And now, while Nitro trying to get his way through is actually going to be caught, and the Rolling Thunder is killed off sooner as well. A break from the scoreboard is all it really was, as now things look straight back into the favor of TSM, and the remaining two players, in the form of Dicey, an awful lot to do. Another one for Wardell. This time, you know, with the operator, back to the standard. And Dicey, the problem is he's got 45 seconds. Realistically, I'm sure he'd love to keep this operator into the next round. Maybe take a few players with him. But at this point, there's so long to save. I don't think the defenders are going to let him. And he's coming under pressure with so much different utility. They are fully on the hunt. And a missed shot just can't be allowed at this point.
They're using so much utility to get in. They can't get the frag. Sub Rosa is just, it's the Matrix to him. He's just dodging, and he's on 30 health, so must have been leg shot or something. Wardell might be a bit quiet. The attack op isn't really as prominent as it used to be since the nerfs to the pricing and just the movement changes. Dicey, though, willing to face the Eldron is going to let him know at least more is there. And as soon as actually just going to try and meet them, he can at least get one, but it's trade outs. TSM managing to find ways to even punish aggressive players coming out of 100 Thieves on this defense. They haven't gone on for the execute yet. They just want to be really careful, and this has been a sign of an improved TSM. They're really making sure that they check all of these corners, that they don't get caught out by some Nitro Steel mind games at this point. And it's a great way for these more established Counter-Strike, ex-Counter-Strike players to try and clutch up here in this 3v3.
30
now
seconds
it looks
left.
impressive. Bear in mind, this is their opponent's map choice. Sure, it's one that they're very competent on. Don't get me wrong. It was a risky pick, a one that I think 100 Thieves knew was going to be rough, but this is impressive stuff. Wardell is going to spot his opponent. He takes a hell of a lot of damage onto the cross. Now, he's the man with the spike, but he's got
10 seconds
Hayes
left.
defending, holding, watching to try and cover them off, but Nitro wins that duel. Puts them into a good position in this retake. And that shock dart was almost enough, but Cutler's trying his best to deny them any further presence on towards Wardell. However, Ryan, this one's looking rough.
Not made any movement. I think at this point it's going to be a save, but they could at least get the operator out of Wardell's hands. They're going to try and push and go for it, or just make sure that he can't get off this site, but he's still able to do damage onto Hiko. Cutler is like, not again. I don't want to deal with this turret, please. Look at this. He's just going for it. Wardell is forced to dash away to back off, and classic jumping right click. But the lockdown is available on the defense. That's the jump boost, maybe? I mean, Wardell, he don't miss.
Ridiculous.
I think it's easy to sleep on him nowadays because liking Wardell was so like June 2020, like when it came to his plays, but he's still good. And I think even this map alone is a dominant showing for TSM to show that, yeah, people are raving about Sentinels being the top team in NA. After Sentinels today, it's still very much open in the air. And 100 Thieves, 12-5 down, 4 players. They have a lockdown, but that requires them to play pretty much on a retake. Steel with the operators looking down A main, but TSM going to try and use this to their advantage, knowing that 100 Thieves will be trying to play the sites, trying to play off of the central parts of the map and use it to explode in an area. Nitro is close. He's going to be holding in Garden.
How many
But he also, yeah, they're just stacking operators at this point. Just the 2.
Oh, okay. I imagine that was Dicey's. Okay, yeah, I think he just picked up the op from Dicey's corpse.
30 seconds left.
Gonna try and man it himself. He was a primary AWPer on Team Liquid, so he definitely can wield the sniper. Gonna get anything here? No, he can't. Drone with the opener, and now it falls onto one man. Steel to try and hold the line, and he gets nothing as well. A slaughter on the A site, and the end of the map
10
looming.
seconds left.
It's left on a 2 versus 5 retake. Hiko alongside Asuna, the young and the old, the experienced and the rookie, and it's left on to just the rookie. 17-year-old to try and clutch versus 5 players. I don't think it's happening this time, but maybe he can pad the stats a little. It will be Drone to close out map number 1. 13-5 in favor of TSM. 100 Thieves on their map choice, and by the looks of it, well, TSM are here to play. This is a round where I'm interested to see how he would use a stinger. I guess the main ploy would be to play towards Garage. Instead, though, it's actually going to be a very aggressive stance being made by TSM. They're going to go pushing through the sewers and be met by multiple 100 Thieves players. Already a double opener, and maybe we're just about to see a very attacker-sided
You should
map.
run.
Yeah.
There you go. There is the lockdown. Realistically, Subrosa, he's waiting to see if anybody will peek in and see if he can do some damage, maybe take a peek, and he will actually get a kill at Escape as well, just around the corner. Gives them much more of a chance in this retake.
Paranoia is going to come through.
Spike planted.
No Cypher alive even to use a camera, even if there was one, to try and catch somebody through the smoke, but he's feeling himself. A shot like that onto Steel was pretty impressive, and even that headshot from distance. Subrosa is playing so good right now on this role, but they need to watch the lurk. Nitro has actually made a lot of space, and whilst it hasn't got all of the frags in the world for TSM, there's only 2 alive, and even the peek's going to come through. Wardell pick up Pico as he makes a long. The 2v2, they're going to go for the defuse at this point because people have moved away. I mean, why not? Go for it. The smoke is going to come in. I don't think there's enough time for Wardell, but it's scared 100 Thieves for their team. He's still going to go for the defuse. He's got it.
He's got it!
Get that.
Oh, he actually got it at the end. That's absolutely ridiculous from Wardell. A round that never should have been.
They have a Hunter's Fury, though. They fought for that R1C, and look how low Eco is. It's a play that needs to be forced, and the sooner caught out by some nice aggression on the side of TSM. Steel is on A long. He has the spike, but there's very little to work of with the buy that they have available.
Oh, we got there in the end, but information has been garnered, and TSM not far off taking this in a 2-0. Of course, this would at least eliminate 100 Thieves from what is the open bracket, but they've already made it through to the closed. In the meantime, though, a bit of an awkward position for Drone. It's going to be dicey to open things up. The nano swarms over the top have done their job, that's for sure, but it still ends up in a 3v3 situation. Hayes, though, is already going to turn the tide and bring things back into the favor, and now with the spike drop,
30 seconds left.
Position for Nitro, trying to get past what is a pretty filthy crossfire. He has Hiko spamming in the shot darts to try and force one of the players to back off.
I have the spike.
Now they are going to be able to retrieve that spike at least, and after plant here comes the paranoia. In fact, they're just going to run straight through. They don't allow for any sort of plant, and they know where Hiko is. They know he needs to push, and Wardell will shut him down. 12-6 in favor of TSM. Just one round to close this out. 2-0.
And Wardell going to be playing short. He hasn't done this so far on the side, and yet again, this 1v1 with Dicey with the operators has mostly gone to Wardell at this point. Absolute masterclass so far, but as soon as he made a lot of space for himself, Wardell was expecting it though, yet again. And there's a stack on C prepared for a push. And these 3 surviving members of 100 Thieves going to be hitting A. They are going to be running into Cutler.
This is looking like the beginning of the end, unfortunately, for 100 Thieves. They've come up against one of the powerhouses of North America, and while they've had some close rounds, that's for sure. Fortunately, the defense that kind of let them down a little bit. Their offense has had its moments, but a few mistakes. Diffusers in front of them have definitely got a miss, and this man Wardell is looking to try and put them in the grave. Already, they will spot one of the remaining members, and it's the same 2 players to try and hold on to timing. They're trying to get back in, but it's Drone to close things out. A 13-6 victory in favor of TSM, showing why they are one of the teams to beat at this moment.